Dr. NGR Educational and Research Institute, University, Madurai, Chennai.
It's a great day, I'm feeling good. Oh, the possibilities of what I could. Oh, do with the world at my fingertips. My imagination brings a smile up to my lips. Oh, fascinated, I'm moving fast. Oh, I'm optimistic as the days go past. Oh, opportunity is here for me. So come along and take a look because I want you to see. The world is yours, look a little bit closer. If you want it, come and get it. You can take it over. You can make your tomorrows what you want them to be. You got the power in your hands to shape your history. We're going up, 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 and up, up, up. We're going up, 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 and up, up, up. We're going up.
Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to one and all present here for this international webinar. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. I'm Ms. Nadine Kuti, Teaching Assistant at Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute. Dr. MGR Education and Research Institute is one of the leading institutions in Tamil Nadu. Today's webinar is on the topic fashion branding. And today's topic is presented by Ms. Vandana, founder, CEO, Evanna Fashion House, Singapore. Now, I welcome upon Mrs. Ahmada Begum, Head of the Fashion Design Department, to announce the welcome address.
Thank you, Ms. Nandini Kuti. Good evening to one and all present here. I feel honored to welcome the gathering for this international webinar on the topic fashion branding. On this account of this event, I take great pride to welcome our founder Chancellor A.C. Shanmugam and our beloved President Engineer A.C.S. Arun Kumar for the encouragement and motivation in organizing this webinar. I heartily welcome our Vice President Dr. M.K. Padmanabhan and our Vice Chancellor Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi for their support. I would also like to welcome our eminent Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. Ravichandran, our Provost Dr. G. Gopalakrishnan and our Registrar Dr. C.B. Palanivedu. I would also like to render a warm welcome to our Joint Registrar HNS Dr. Malini Pandey. I am delighted to welcome our Joint Registrar Dr. S. Ramalingam, our Dean S. Manivannan and our Deputy Dean Dr. V.N. Rajavarman for their motivation and support for conducting this international webinar. I would also like to welcome Mr. Nadeem, Director Institute of Design and all the heads and staff members of our institution. My heartiest welcome to the resource person for today's webinar, Ms. Vandana, Founder, CEO of Evanna Fashion House, Singapore. We welcome you, ma'am. On behalf of the Department of Fashion Design, Adiyalampattu Phase 2 campus, I would like to welcome my beloved participants from various parts of the world who have joined today for this webinar. I hope everyone will have a great knowledge about fashion branding at the end of the session. Dear participants, an announcement regarding the feedback link which will be provided at the end of this session. You can post your queries in the chat box and it will be clarified during the questionnaire session. I welcome you all once again for this webinar and hope that you will have a great time ahead. Thank you one and all.
It was indeed a very pleasing addressing given by you, ma'am. Now, I welcome upon Mr. Nadeem, Director of IOD, Chennai, to introduce about our chief guest.
Good evening, one and all. Okay, I'm very honored to introduce a good friend of mine, Ms. Vandana Evanna, the founder and the fashion designer of Evanna Fashion House. She is based out of Singapore and she's been recognized as the wonderful lady in the fashion field. And right now, she's expertise in fashion merchandising, designing. And I'm happy to inform you that she is the Asian Lady of Excellence Award winner and Asia Pacific Golden Brand Award winner for a responsible in getting the Indian fashion and international fashion and bohemian fashion jewelry, and plus she is into a lot of eco fashion brands. She has been launched a company in 2011. She has participated in various trade shows and fashion shows all over the world, and she has been a part of Miami Fashion Week, Mercedes Fashion Week in Australia, and World Fashion Week in Malaysia, and Asian Lifestyle and Fashion Week in Singapore, and plus our Indian Jaipur couture show. She's been interviewed by various news TV channels, newspapers, articles, and magazines, and she's been a motivation for a lot of fashion designers in India and abroad. And basically, she's based out of Singapore, and she is well versed in the Asian fashion also. And right now, had been authored a book called Mode Fashion and Style Icon. This book is launched in 3 locations: one in Delhi, next in Jaipur, and then in Singapore. So, welcome you all to this show of international fashion, and I hope you will be able to understand and appreciate the branding and the expertise and experience of Ms. Vandana. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful introduction given by you. Now we welcome you, ma'am, on the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me for this show, Mr. Nadeem and MGR Institute. I'm humbled to be here. And I'm very thankful that I got this opportunity to share my knowledge to all the students of your institute. And as Mr. Nadeem has mentioned that I have written a book on fashion, this is the book that I would like to show. This is very beneficial for all the designers who want to start their own business, anybody who wants to start their own business, because in that all the designers, how they have established themselves from beginning to end, it's all mentioned in this book. And you can introduce this book in your institute as well. It will be very beneficial for them. Now you want to find the competitors. So how to find the brand competitors, brand position. In fashion, how do you create brand positioning and differentiate yourself? Competition is tough, especially in the fashion sector. It's a massive challenge to start a brand. Produce at least the first 3 collections and watch it take off. Key points are brand positioning and creating a USP are part of your overall brand strategy. A well-researched and thought-through brand strategy can give your brand a competitive advantage. In any industry, including fashion, design alone is not a USP. In defining your brand positioning, research the brand landscape and plot your brand against others, using 2 axes like price and fashionability. These charts will help you identify the blue ocean, the gap in the market. Your USP, unique selling proposition, can be based on the classic 4 Ps: product, price, place, and promotion. Another more organic way to look at the USP is to create a brand story. Brand positioning and creating a USP or telling your brand story will set up the strategic groundwork for a successful fashion brand. Without this strategic work, a new fashion brand will likely struggle to differentiate itself from the competition. Researching competitors, finding a gap in the market, and showing how your brand is unique and desirable will help it become a commercial success. Last but not least, how to expand our brand globally. Expansion. It is the goal of every business, big or small. For successful expansion, you will need a solid strategy, a clear understanding of how you will move forward, and the means to do so. You need to be in perfect harmony. Let's see what strategies you could implement in the global market. Find partners. Prepare for a global audience and brand adjustment. How you will find partners? You would be wise to consider working with partners when you expand. These are organizations, individuals, and groups who you consider to be reliable allies. Their purpose can vary. Some will be promotional resources, and others will provide valuable advice to you as you move forward. It is up to you to cultivate the partners you require, but there are many available within the industry. A valuable fashion tech resource is Sopot, clothing manufacturers for your fashion brand. Here you can find manufacturing partners across the globe suited for your production requirements, plus tons of other helpful tips and guides on the industry. Prepare for a global audience. Fashion remains a highly personal industry. The accepted definition of this unknown factor means that you will need to prepare to work globally. This preparation often involves identifying fashion trends in other countries and understanding how they fit into your collection and brand. This task is often considered to be one of the most difficult a fashion brand will face, but at the same one of the most rewarding. Fashionable will vary from one country to the next. Last is brand adjustment. When moving to the global market, it is not just the fashion that will change. Words, colors, and images will all have specific meanings to individual countries. It will fall to you to make sure your company translates well to the global presence. Whether this is an overhaul of the name and slogan or the changing of colors. These details will play an important role in ensuring your popularity and success with other countries and fashion industries. These are just a few of the different ways that you can integrate your brand into the global market. Thank you.